women have been the most victims to gender-based violence in families, as far as land ownership and rights is concerned. Although these cases were previously minimal in the society, there was a sharp increase during the COVID-19 lockdown in Uganda, Kabale in particular, where some women lost their relationships, lives, and sometimes injuries on their bodies over this issue.
kuyamazire kukankarugaho bushabazire n'abataka bakareba mutine kinkozire kahura cyanteganisa no kuzomo bakama nabo nga LC1 ni mweneshi nka LC2 nico kimwe hati nareba ndine buhungiro bwe na bumandi kubona nakorera kasete ndahinga karisha nabona kasete karaika nk'imtwaro nkakinana nagura kataka kundimu nayombeka kaju kama bati 16.
Edith Musimenta, a resident of Muyumbu Parish, Chanamina Sub-County in Kabale District, said that after the death of her husband, a lot of attempts were made to get her out of the land where she was staying. She adds on that although the piece of land had a land title, which was being kept by the in-laws, they were later bribed and sold it off.
Muranyeho nkeyambisa abana fudu naza yo kuhababa kubatandikire kubeta aho batina bareka baramubanje haguko n'amagwabo n'akabatine mugenje nabusha babagwerereza babahamagwa ecapa bacibari kurira aho butine ho barambona boneseza ko kubarenda.
Night Agnes, also a resident in Kabale, said that her husband has been mentally disturbed for the last 20 years, but when this incident happened, her in-laws grabbed all the land they were using. Agnes hopes to reclaim the land when her children get old, but all this has been in vain. She adds on that she is also likely to lose even the land that she is having at the moment because they didn't get any land agreements.
Kali kishamba kyo narugaho najya abana ko bari kuratujyahe bose konka abana ko bishira nabwe bakura twaza kuribuza nabwe byatuburira bari twiyema bona bwiye nabwo kube kwitakari kanyandirizaho nanyegeje bitinji kuza mbona makasabundi ninga mpiro umwana wundi kwe akwa nkati yo kumpera kwanje ni ndyaroni ntandika nzihinjira inziya umubanka instomisho waza kwega
Kigezi Women in Development Quid conducted research about land-related gender-based violence in Kabale District, and the reports indicate that of the women they interacted with, 5% confidently said that they are aware of the land policies favoring women in land ownership in Uganda. 95% of the women do not know any land policy that governs women land ownership, saying that they do not have control over land, including that they buy using their own money. 73.5% of these women said that they had experienced land-related gender-based violence in their families.
Some women mentioned that they have land titles, but the two who had land titles are the ones who were talking about the titles which they were left by their husbands. Those were two widows. So for the women, they understand that for them to own land, somebody who is in charge of land, who is the husband, should no longer be in the home, or is not in, like is disabled. That's when they think they can start owning or controlling or planning for use of the land.
The executive director, Quid Florence Tumuhigwe, continues to say that the structures that were put in place to implement the laws are not well facilitated to execute their duties. She adds on that most of the women have gave up on their court cases because of the facilitation being demanded by land committees at different levels of the district.
The structures which were put in place to implement the laws are not well facilitated to execute their duties. And not only the area land committees. When you look at how the land boards sit, they don't sit enough times to accord the citizens ample time. Like they sit like is it on a quarterly basis. And you know that when you have like a case of land, and you want it to be, that's why the cases of land are taking wrong they take a long process to be concluded. And there are some women who have given up on their cases which are in court, according to the survey which we conducted. Find there are some women who have given up because the process takes so long. There are some cases which have taken 10 years in court. Even the land committees which were put at sub-county. When there is no client, that it is the client who is facilitating the process. So if it is a woman now, for example, to facilitate that process of a land survey, land inspection, and she doesn't have the money, enough money, then it means that woman will just give it. It will just give up on the land.
Poverty, alcoholism for both women and men, partial practices like early marriages, bride price, limited counseling, peer pressure, drug abuse, among others, have been the leading causes of gender-based violence in families. Norbert Ngamachi for Kigezi Television.
Mweno hiwa araba banza waje uko wagera kugira ngo wase kuraba mukonka byanga.